So then when you're working with Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon now,
Yep.
what are the biggest things that you're looking to bring to them to help them reach the potential in the Williams car?
So if we start with Alex, when I met, I've known Alex since 2016. He was with me at Mercedes, then went on to Red Bull, but I've known him since he was much younger. Him and Lando and George all grew up together, which is quite a nice little story. You can see them have had a call huddling together as well. And what I knew of him at the time, fiercely quick, lacked some confidence in himself, didn't understand how good he really was, I think, at times. And when I met him in 2023, he lacked belief in where he was. I think he'd had a hard time pretty much going through the Red Bull system that he had, and 1 year in Williams hadn't necessarily helped him. And my job in all of that is to create a shield around him, let him know he is bloody good. He is one of the top drivers in the sport. I'll be by his side and give him a pedestal that allows him to grow as a result of it. And he has the inherent skill, but what I've done as a result of things, I hope, is really grow him as an individual where he has the confidence to give his all every single weekend, which is what you're seeing this year. And to be clear on this, they do the hard work. Mine is just really light guiding buffers on the outside to make sure that they're good. Same when they have a down weekend. They will have a down weekend. My job is to make sure they don't spiral out of control. They're here. They understand how to, again, put it in a box. It's done. It's gone. Here's how we move forward together at the same time. And with Carlos, it's exactly the same, except he's very good at doing it. He's pissed at himself or the team on Monday afterwards. And so he should be. By Tuesday, he's calling and trying to understand, how do we find this performance, this, and this? We need to sort this out. This is what I'm going to do to change myself. And mine is to be a sounding board and here to effectively execute the items that simply make sense for all of us as a result of it. So it's an easy job with these two.
It was kind of Hollywoodified, if we want to call it that, if that's even a word, in the last season's Drive to Survive.
Yep.
But why, aside from him being a name, and aside from him being the last, I think, Ferrari driver to win a Grand Prix and the success that he had the year you managed to get him, on everything that you've talked about around what you want to achieve, why was he such an important part of that?
So I've spoken about culture. Culture is driven from values and behaviors, and the values that both Carlos and Alex have are exemplary. They're individuals where their ego doesn't take over. Williams is far bigger than me. I am just here to hold on to the shirt and put it into a better place, then hand it to someone else. With Alex and Carlos, Williams is bigger than the two of them as well. Our job between all of us is to bring Williams back into winning ways. And that absolutely is their belief system and where they're born. They will perform at their very highest level. They will give us everything that they can. And if that's a win, they'll give it to us. But it's about understanding that everything is bigger than us in the world. We're just a part of that journey. And so that was part of the reason with the two of them as well at the same time. The second is, if there's any fighting between your two drivers, you're going to slow yourself down as a team. We have to rebuild everything, and I need their help to do so. And the third is they're both leaders. They're young, but they're both leaders. They think they're older now, but they're not. They're still young compared to me, certainly. And what I need is individuals that can stand up in front of the team where 40 words can drive the team forward for a year, and they can both do that.
Formula One, the thing I find the most interesting about it is that you're a team sport at everything, but actually it's driven by individual results. Those two drivers you mentioned, if they're not working together, it's harder for the team. Do you feel now we're in an environment where drivers are more consistently behaving like they are a team, whether in the past we did see a little bit more friction in cars?
I would definitely say there's elements of the past where you had that friction, but it wasn't that long ago where there was friction between, frankly, Nico and Lewis, for that matter. I think we have to acknowledge one thing. I have it easy at the moment. We're not fighting for a world championship. We're fighting for what was survival previously. Now what we're fighting for is strong results and maybe into a podium at some stage. It does get different when you're fighting for wins, but if you create the right construct beforehand, you can do that in a fair and exemplary format, which is a lot of what I learned at Mercedes as well for transparency. So I think that's one difference. So there's a little bit more friction, for example, in McLaren, not as much as in the olden days, I agree. I think the second part now is, in the olden days, you could have a car second and a half faster than anyone. That doesn't exist anymore now. We are fighting in tenths and milliseconds. So if you give anything away, and you do by fighting each other, and the extremes that I remember is data was hidden from one side of the garage, for example, or you'd hide things in what you were doing. If you're working that way, you're going to be overtaken.
I remember Nico said, didn't he, the 80-gram change in paint on his helmet. It was something that he did to get that extra edge.
Yeah, but it's continuously... And it wasn't just there. You find it in every single area of it. So with Nico, ways of working with the engineer, how late you can push your engineers working, what you can scrap out of this, how you can get things slightly more biased towards the team being better. It is into the micro details, but you need everyone doing it.